Hey, welcome to a new video. Suman Khatun's story is one of the most tragic examples of severe childhood obesity, showing how complex biological, social, and medical factors interact. She was born in West Bengal and, according to her family, was a normal baby, but around age 5, her weight rose rapidly. Media reported that at 5, she weighed up to 165 pounds, or 75 kilograms, drawing global attention and astonishment. Her family lived in deep poverty. Her father was a small farmer, and the cost of her food consumed nearly all their resources. Reports described her appetite as insatiable. In a single week, she was said to eat 30 pounds or 14 kilograms of rice, 17 pounds or 8 kilograms of potatoes, 8 kilograms of fish, and 180 bananas, plus snacks and sweets. She struggled to walk, breathe, and do ordinary childhood activities, and eventually could no longer attend school. In her early teens, she reportedly weighed about 408 pounds or 185 kilograms. In 2018, she underwent a bariatric procedure, a sleeve gastrectomy in Vijayawada, subsidized by a hospital foundation. The surgery was free of charge, and within a month she lost 66 pounds or 30 kilograms. Doctors mentioned a possible leptin deficiency, which remained unconfirmed.
Are you new to this channel? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And before we start, also like the video.
The name Arya Permana became globally linked to childhood obesity around 2016. Born in West Java and seemingly healthy as a baby, he weighed about 423 pounds, or 192 kilograms at age 10. Many outlets called him the heaviest boy in the world. His daily diet consisted of 5 large meals, including instant noodles, rice, meat, and sugary drinks. His mother, Rokaya, said she could not always refuse him out of pity. Daily life became almost impossible. He left school, walking and sitting were painful, and regular clothing didn't fit. He bathed in a specially dug outdoor pool. Doctors spoke of morbid obesity due to extreme energy intake and suspected hormonal dysregulation. Medical help began in 2016, and he received a strictly supervised liquid diet. He then underwent a gastric sleeve in 2017, removing about 80% of his stomach. Over 3 years, he lost more than 220 pounds or 100 kilograms, and photos from 2020 show him active again, exercising, playing football, and returning to school. Alana Thompson, better known as Honey Boo Boo, became a pop culture phenomenon in which her eating habits turned into public entertainment. Born in 2005 in McIntyre, Georgia, she appeared at age 6 on the TLC series Toddlers and Tiaras. Her big personality, accent, and catchphrases drew attention. This was followed by Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, 2012 to 2014, which showed an eccentric family life and unhealthy eating habits. She ate sketty made with pasta, ketchup, and butter, along with much processed food and sugary drinks. Critics accused TLC of exploiting child weight and poverty for amusement. In her early teens, Alana struggled with body image and being publicly scrutinized. She became a target for tabloids and online bullying, while her mother, June, was criticized for unhealthy habits. After Here Comes Honey Boo Boo ended, Alana appeared in Mama June from Not to Hot, which focused on her mother's weight loss. In 2011, photos of 4-year-old Lu Jihao from China attracted worldwide attention. On social media, he was nicknamed the Michelin Boy because his skin folds reminded people of the tire mascot. He reportedly weighed over 137 pounds, or 62 kilograms, and became a symbol in debates about childhood weight in a country with rapidly changing diets and lifestyles. Born in Guangdong Province and healthy as a baby, his weight began to climb quickly around his first birthday. Concerned, his parents offered generous portions of rice, meat, and sweets, believing that eating well signaled health and prosperity. At kindergarten, he couldn't walk long distances, didn't fit standard desks, and missed out on sports and play. His mother sewed custom clothing, and playgrounds proved unsuitable. Doctors ruled out several metabolic disorders and concluded that excess calories and too little activity mainly explained his weight. After media attention, he joined a special weight loss program. Local reports mentioned gradual loss with supervision, but little is known about his adolescent years. In 2021, a short YouTube clip went viral showing an African toddler, not yet 2 years old, who weighed as much as an older child. The video also spread on TikTok with sensational titles that sparked public concern and confusion. The child's identity and country of origin were unconfirmed, though some reports pointed to Nigeria or the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Local coverage framed it as a rare medical puzzle rather than purely a dietary issue. Doctors commenting online suggested a congenital leptin deficiency, an inherited condition that disrupts regulation of appetite and fat storage. It can cause rapid weight gain in very young children even when intake is restricted and carefully monitored. Eyewitnesses in the video said the gain began almost immediately after birth, and that by around age 2, the child weighed over 110 pounds or 50 kilograms, highly unusual. The mother said he constantly asked for food, indicating an almost unrestrainable appetite and a possible metabolic disorder. Muhammad Abrar's story made global news around 2019 as one of the most extreme cases among children with severe obesity. At 10, he reportedly weighed about 432 pounds or 196 kilograms, and many outlets called him the world's heaviest boy. His mother, Zarina, said he weighed 8 pounds or 3.6 kilograms at birth, but then gained at an unusual pace. By age 2, he was drinking huge amounts of milk, and his appetite kept increasing. Because of his size, Abrar could walk only a few steps and could no longer attend school. Daily care required special arrangements, such as a modified bed, and extra sturdy seating and play options. Doctors described his appetite as constant and said he ate portions sufficient for multiple adults. Given the high risks, they advised a sleep procedure to protect his life. One report showed he was discharged after an operation, but the extent of long-term weight loss remained unclear. His case highlights the importance of timely medical care, tailored nutrition, increased activity, and sustained support for the whole family. Jambalat, also known as Jambik, became known in the early 2000s as an extreme example of childhood obesity. At age 4, he weighed 123 pounds or 56 kilograms. By 8, he reached about 293 pounds or 133 kilograms, and at 9, about 322 pounds or 146 kilograms. His mother, Nelia, dreamed of a future for him as a sumo wrestler or strongman and sometimes rejected advice about a strict diet. Doctors noted that his bones appeared larger than average, while tests for anabolic substances showed no abnormalities. In 2008, physician Ian Campbell examined him and warned of major short and long-term health risks. Around 18, under supervision, Jambik lost 119 pounds or 54 kilograms, bringing him to about 388 pounds or 176 kilograms. He had to photograph every meal for his trainer to improve insight into portions and composition. Daily life remained difficult due to his weight, and he required extensive medical support. Jambalat died on the 29th of December 2020 at the age of 21, reportedly from kidney problems, though the cause was not confirmed. His story shows how severe childhood obesity can be and underscores the importance of early care, appropriate nutrition, activity, and family support. Chahat is a girl from Punjab, India, who received media attention in 2017 because of rapid weight gain in infancy. At 8 months, she weighed about 37 pounds or 17 kilograms, after the rapid growth began around 4 months. She often asked for food and cried when it was withheld. Drawing blood was barely possible due to very firm skin and subcutaneous tissue, making tests of hormones and metabolism difficult. Doctors diagnosed a severe early form of obesity caused by a mutation in exon 3 of the leptin gene, which regulates hunger. When that signal is absent, appetite can keep increasing and weight can rise quickly. Since 9 months old, she has been under care at PGI in Chandigarh, and the Indian government promised help with costs. Where a deficiency is confirmed, leptin therapy can be started, but because of high costs and limited availability, good guidance and patience are especially important. Doctors monitor nutrition, activity, sleep, and early signs of complications. There is also attention to mental support for parents, since care is intensive and requires a lot of planning. Her story shows a very early and likely genetic cause, as well as the challenge of limited diagnostics and access to medication. Justin was a boy in the United States who faced severe overweight at an early age. Around 7, he weighed about 254 pounds or 115 kilograms, which made daily life and his health vulnerable. In 2007, a court case in Polk County, North Carolina, addressed his situation. Child Services considered removing him from the home because of concerns about his safety and prospects. His mother later regained custody after arrangements were made for guidance and follow-up. She said that with help from a dietitian, Justin lost about 40 pounds, or 18 kilograms, and learned better habits around eating, activity, and structure. Local media reported that the case focused on his well-being. not on punishment or blame. The core question was whether there was medical neglect, or mainly a struggle to manage an increasingly difficult situation. Clear agreements on diet and exercise, regular medical checkups, and concrete support for the family proved crucial. The goal was a safe home environment with clear routines, achievable goals, and reliable medical follow-up. In 2016, British media reported on Michel, a 5-year-old boy who weighed about 168 pounds or 76 kilograms, and whose doctors were deeply concerned about his health. He became tired quickly, could hardly play, and was at risk of early complications such as breathlessness and heart, respiratory, and blood sugar problems. His family wanted to comfort and indulge him, but found that love sometimes clashed with clear limits around food. In Brazil, specialists set up a strict nutrition plan and provided guidance on activity, sleep patterns, and stable routines at home. Long-term care proved difficult due to costs and limited access to support, so the family needed extra assistance. Doctors ultimately diagnosed Prader-Willi syndrome, a genetic condition that affects regulation of appetite and muscle tone, and has no cure. The condition is estimated to occur in 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 30,000 people, making early recognition important. Good care with this diagnosis means daily small steps, fixed meal times, a safe environment without temptations, and regular checkups. Aaliyah drew worldwide attention when at 18 months, she weighed about 53 pounds or 24 kilograms, more than many older children. Her parents live in a rural area of India and said she often asked for food and became upset when it was not allowed. Doctors considered a genetic or hormonal cause and mentioned Prader-Willi syndrome as a possibility. The family had little money, and much of their income went to food for their daughter, making visits to specialists difficult. Doctors therefore discussed fixed meal times, smaller portions with adequate protein and vegetables, and close attention to sleep, routine, and calm behavior at the table. They also noted that treatment can sometimes include leptin therapy when a deficiency is demonstrated, but that it can be expensive and not always immediately available. Minnick holds the extraordinary record as the heaviest human being ever documented, with an estimated peak weight of 1,400 pounds or 635 kilograms. Born in 1941 on Bainbridge Island, Washington, John weighed 293 pounds or 133 kilograms by age 12. His weight continued to rise steadily throughout his life, likely due in part to genetic and metabolic conditions that also caused severe fluid retention. By the 1970s, John was entirely bedridden and facing life-threatening health issues. In 1978, he was admitted to a hospital for specialized care. Transporting him required a team of 13 people and customized equipment. During his hospital stay, John followed an intensive dietary program and lost an astonishing 924 pounds, or 419 kilograms, in just 16 months, bringing his weight down to about 476 pounds, or 216 kilograms. This remains one of the most dramatic weight loss cases ever recorded. Though his health improved temporarily, his condition remained fragile. John Brower Minnick died on September 10, 1983, at the age of 41, nearly 2 years after his landmark hospitalization. Carol Ann Yeager, born on January 26, 1960, in Flint, Michigan, became world famous as the heaviest woman in recorded medical history. Her peak weight was estimated at approximately 1,603 pounds or 727 kilograms, and she reportedly broke several hospital scales. In January 1993, she was admitted to Hurley Medical Center in Flint, Michigan, where she lost about 520 pounds or 236 kilograms in 3 months on a strict 1,200 calorie per day diet. Despite her weight loss, her health remained fragile, and she was repeatedly hospitalized. Due to her size, emergency services often had to be involved in her transport. Eventually, she was moved to a nursing home as her condition worsened. On July 18, 1994, Carol passed away at the age of 34 due to kidney failure, worsened by years of extreme physical strain. Her story remains one of the most extreme and haunting cases of morbid obesity ever documented. Mills Darden is considered one of the heaviest individuals in recorded history. His weight was estimated at 1,021 pounds, or 463 kilograms, making him a figure of historical significance. His enormous size and physical strength drew widespread attention in his time. It's believed he may have had a medical condition, possibly related to the pituitary gland, that contributed to his extraordinary growth. Darden began his working life as a farmer, but eventually transitioned to running an inn in Lexington, Tennessee. His size made heavy labor difficult, but his inn quickly became popular with travelers. His striking appearance turned the establishment into a well-known stop for people traveling by horse and wagon. According to accounts from the time, he could carry 1,200 pounds or 544 kilograms of livestock feed nearly 1.3 miles or 2 kilometers, and toss hay bales weighing over 507 pounds or 230 kilograms with ease. Mills Darden died on January 23, 1857, at the age of 57. The special arrangements made for his burial highlight his unique place in history. Donna Simpson received widespread media attention in the early 2010 after publicly announcing her goal to intentionally gain weight until she reached 992 pounds or 450 kilograms. Born in 1967 in Mogadore, Ohio, she struggled with weight gain from an early age, weighing around 183 pounds or 83 kilograms by the age of 9. As an adult, she reached over 639 pounds, or 290 kilograms, and became known as the heaviest woman to give birth via C-section. She monetized her lifestyle by charging people to watch her consume enormous meals, sometimes up to 15,000 calories a day. One famous Christmas dinner totaled 30,000 calories and included turkey, ham, mounds of potatoes, loaves of bread, and desserts. Her partner at the time, Philippe, whom she met on a dating site for people who appreciate larger body types, encouraged her to gain even more. Donna received a Guinness World Record for being the heaviest mother and openly stated her goal to double her weight. Doctors warned her of severe health risks, including heart problems, respiratory issues, diabetes, and early death. After splitting with Felipe around 2011, Donna decided to change her life and focus on her children and health. At just 22 years old, Khalid bin Mohsen Shari made global headlines in 2013 when he was recognized as the heaviest living person in the world, with an estimated weight of 1,367 pounds or 620 kilograms and a staggering BMI of 204. He had been housebound for over 3 years, fully dependent on family for care. King Abdullah of Saudi Arabia personally intervened, ordering Khalid's transfer to King Fahad Medical City in Riyadh. A specially modified bed and transport vehicle were required for the journey. At the hospital, he received intensive treatment, including nutritional counseling, physical therapy, and surgery to jumpstart his recovery. A team of regional medical experts collaborated to improve his condition. In 2016, Khalid stood on his own, with a walker, for the first time in 5 years. By 2017, he had lost a total of 1,195 pounds or 542 kilograms, weighing just 150 pounds or 68 kilograms, in what remains one of the most remarkable weight loss transformations ever recorded. Eman Ahmed Abdel-Ati, born in 1980 in Alexandria, Egypt, became known worldwide as the second heaviest woman ever recorded, with an estimated weight of 1,102 pounds or 500 kilograms. Her condition was caused by a rare combination of thyroid dysfunction and lymphedema, which severely limited her mobility. At age 11, she suffered a stroke that left her partially paralyzed, and for over 25 years, she was bedridden, entirely dependent on her family. In 2017, her sister launched a global online campaign that secured enough support to bring Iman to Mumbai, India, on a medical visa, where she underwent gastric sleeve surgery. Before the operation, she lost 243 pounds, or 110 kilograms, on a liquid diet, and after surgery, another 551 pounds, or 250 kilograms, reducing her weight to an estimated 858 pounds, or 389 kilograms. This progress allowed her to sit up and perform simple activities for the first time in years. In May 2017, she was transferred to Abu Dhabi for ongoing treatment of her chronic conditions, including heart and kidney failure. On September 25, 2017, just 16 days after her 37th birthday, Iman passed away due to complications related to her health. In 2014, 2 Colombian babies made world news and highlighted a broader problem. Santiago Mendoza was 8 months old and weighed more than 44 pounds or 20 kilograms. With the best intentions, his mother gave milk and food whenever he cried, but the increase was extremely rapid. Doctors stressed that this was not only about diet. Family habits played a role, as did limited access to timely care and possibly metabolic factors. A medical center took Santiago under guidance, offering monitoring, clear education, and a strict yet achievable nutrition plan with fixed meal times. Shortly afterward, attention turned to Isabella Caicedo, who was 10 months old and weighed around 40 pounds or 18 kilograms. Her family sought the same help from the foundation, so there was one plan with agreements on diet, activity, sleep, and regular checkups. The two cases showed this is part of a growing concern in the region, where the marketing of sugary drinks and snacks meets limited prevention. Media headlines were sometimes harsh and lacking nuance, but these children and their parents most of all needed understanding, affordable care, and long-term support. Andre Nazar, once known as Australia's heaviest man, reached an estimated weight of 1,032 pounds or 468 kilograms. Born around 1980, he developed an unhealthy relationship with food from an early age. By age 5, he weighed roughly 110 pounds or 50 kilograms, making him stand out among his classmates. He recalled often being picked last in gym class. Andre described his eating habits as emotionally driven, influenced by a permissive upbringing. In his mid-30s, he had been confined to his home for over a year. To transport him to Concord Hospital, emergency responders had to modify parts of his house. At his peak, Andre consumed an estimated 12,000 calories a day, about 6 times the recommended amount. In 2015, he began an intensive treatment program under the guidance of Dr. Nick Cormus. Despite the risks, he underwent a critical medical procedure to improve his health. After a 14-month hospital stay, during which he made gradual progress, Andre entered a new chapter of life. He lost about 439 pounds, or 199 kilograms, and now weighs 593 pounds, or 269 kilograms, with a healthier and more mindful relationship with food. His ultimate goal is to reach 260 pounds, or 118 kilograms, and enjoy an active life with his son, filled with new experiences. Rosalie Bradford, born in 1943 in Hatfield, Pennsylvania, gained global recognition for her extraordinary weight loss journey. Adopted into a troubled home, she found comfort in food at an early age. By 14, she weighed around 220 pounds, or 100 kilograms, and by 15, about 308 pounds, or 140 kilograms. After marriage and the birth of her son, a serious infection left her immobile, and her weight rapidly increased. By January 1987, her weight had reached approximately 985 pounds, or 477 kilograms, with some reports suggesting it went as high as 1,200 pounds, or 544 kilograms, making her one of the heaviest women ever recorded. Her life changed dramatically when she connected with fitness guru Richard Simmons. He introduced her to a simple exercise routine involving clapping and light movement, along with a tailored nutrition plan. Within a year, she lost about 419 pounds, or 190 kilograms. And with further therapy, her weight dropped to around 282 pounds, or 128 kilograms by 1994. Overall, she lost between 736 and 917 pounds, or 334 and 416 kilograms, setting a world record for the most weight lost by a woman. However, the massive transformation came with complications. Surgeries to remove excess skin damaged her lymphatic system, leaving her mostly bedridden again. Rosalie passed away on November 29, 2006 at the age of 63, but her astonishing transformation continues to inspire others. In January 2006, Manuel Uribe was officially recognized as the heaviest man in the world, weighing an estimated 1,345 pounds, or 610 kilograms. Doctors believed his extreme weight was not just due to food intake, but possibly also genetic or metabolic factors that affected fat storage. Despite his condition, Manuel made sincere efforts to improve his health. By 2007, he had reduced his weight to 840 pounds, or 381 kilograms, thanks to the Zone diet. On October 26, 2008, he made headlines again, this time for marrying his partner, Claudia Solis. For the ceremony, he was transported on a specially equipped bed on a flatbed truck. During their first dance, they held hands and shared a tender moment. His mother proudly noted that Manuel stayed committed to his diet and skipped the wedding cake entirely. He was known for his optimism and determination, inspiring many around the world by openly sharing his challenges and hopes. Manuel passed away in May 2015 at the age of 48. His story remains a testament to resilience and the power of love. Margaret Johnson appeared in season 10 of My 600-Pound Life, starting at a weight of approximately 750 pounds, or 340 kilograms. Her struggles began in early childhood due to traumatic family conditions and a father who emotionally manipulated her and sometimes withheld food. By age 6, Margaret weighed 99 pounds, or 45 kilograms, and used food to cope with fear and sadness. With help from Dr. Nozaradin, she lost 236 pounds, or 107 kilograms, within a year and qualified for bariatric surgery. Initially, her progress was strong. She felt healthier and more self-sufficient than ever. However, in a later update, it was revealed that she had regained weight, climbing back to around 547 pounds, or 248 kilograms. Margaret admitted to mentally checking out and struggling to follow the strict routine. With renewed structure and support from her mother, she regained motivation, lost another 287 pounds, or 130 kilograms, and was discharged from the hospital. Since then, she's mostly stayed out of the public eye, but recent reports suggest she still follows a disciplined diet and exercise routine to maintain her health. Jose became known after an episode of The Maury Show in the early 2000s. He was a 3-year-old toddler with a weight far above healthy levels, and his mother sought help on television, hoping for advice. The studio audience reacted with shock. Jose struggled to walk, and his mother said he was constantly hungry and cried when he didn't get food. Doctors explain that such signs can point to hormonal or metabolic problems, but that careful testing is required. The broadcast focused mainly on eating habits and sensational images. Medical nuance received less attention, pushing the care story into the background. Later, short clips appeared online without context, and Jose became a meme, with the internet laughing at painful moments. His story thus became an example of how media can present childhood weight as entertainment rather than a call for care. Look closely and you see a family in need of help, and a child who deserves expert care with a plan broader than just food and weight. Kenneth Brumley reached a peak weight of 1,032 pounds, or 468 kilograms, and became widely known through the Channel 4 documentary Half-Ton Dad. Born in 1968 in the United States, Kenneth was an athletic child who played basketball, baseball, and football. But after moving to California at age 19, his lifestyle changed dramatically, leading to extreme weight gain. At his heaviest, he reportedly consumed up to 30,000 calories a day, far exceeding normal levels. To receive medical care, emergency services had to take special measures just to remove him from his home. At Houston's Renaissance Hospital, Kenneth began a strict 1,200 calorie per day diet under medical supervision, losing about 168 pounds or 76 kilograms in 40 days. He later underwent surgery to remove 210 pounds or 95 kilograms of excess tissue. Following an overall weight loss of 489 pounds or 222 kilograms, he received gastric bypass surgery, reducing his weight to approximately 531 pounds or 241 kilograms. After the documentary aired, Kenneth chose to live out of the public eye. Some believe his weight increased again, while others hope he maintained his healthier lifestyle. His transformation remains one of the most remarkable ever documented on television. Suzanne Eman, a single mother from Arizona, made international headlines in the early 2010s for her controversial goal of becoming the world's heaviest woman. At age 32, she weighed about 727 pounds, or 330 kilograms, and her weight would later rise to an estimated 802 pounds, or 364 kilograms. She consumed up to 20,000 calories a day, aiming to reach over 700 pounds, or 317 kilograms. Her routine included massive meals, and during monthly grocery trips, she and her 2 sons would fill multiple shopping carts. She admitted to eating until she couldn't take another bite, then massaging her stomach so she could keep going. Despite the dangerous eating habits, Suzanne claimed that gaining weight made her feel more attractive and confident. Doctors warned of severe health risks, but she remained committed to her goal for a time. Eventually, however, she abandoned her mission and began losing weight so she could be there for her children. Once known as the heaviest man in the world, Juan Pedro Franco grew up in an environment where childhood obesity was often seen as harmless. Doctors initially told his mother it would pass on its own, but it didn't. At a young age, Juan developed an unhealthy relationship with food, which quickly led to weight gain. Despite his mother's concern, his condition went largely unaddressed for years. At age 17, he was involved in a serious car accident that forced him into prolonged bed rest. His weight ballooned from 507 pounds, or 230 kilograms, during that time. He eventually reached a peak weight of 1,340 pounds, or 608 kilograms, drawing global attention. Unable to care for himself, Juan became completely dependent on his mother, a situation that took a toll on them both emotionally. He faced exclusion from society, dropped out of school, and began working at age 11. For years, he received little medical help, due to financial constraints or misjudgment. Eventually, he was offered a life-changing surgery. Despite the risks, he agreed, believing that even pulling a tooth carries danger, and hoping for the chance to walk again, breathe fresh air, and express gratitude to God. Laura Perez, also known as Angelica Laura on My 600-Pound Life, began her journey at a peak weight of approximately 595 pounds, or 270 kilograms. At the start, she relied on a wheelchair, needed an oxygen tank, and received intensive care from her then-husband Joey. Her health was severely compromised, including a diabetes diagnosis, and the root of her struggle lay in childhood trauma. Under the supervision of Dr. Nauseradan, she underwent gastric bypass surgery, which removed a large portion of her stomach. By the end of her episode, she had lost over 220 pounds, or 100 kilograms. And in the years that followed, she reduced her weight to around 181 pounds, or 82 kilograms. As Laura became more independent, her marriage came under strain. Joey felt excluded, which eventually led to their separation. Not long after, Laura found love again with Eric, with whom she had 2 children. Sadly, in November 2021, she passed away unexpectedly at the age of 48. Although the exact cause of death was never officially confirmed, some suspect her earlier health complications played a role. Georgia Davis became known as Britain's heaviest teenager, but behind the headline were loss and loneliness. After her father died when she was 5, she turned to food for comfort, a habit that became a serious medical problem. She grew up in Aberdare, Wales, and by 15 weighed nearly 463 pounds, or 210 kilograms. At a program in the United States, she lost more than 209 pounds, or 95 kilograms, and wanted to change her life. Back home, the structure fell away, and within months, her weight rose again. In her early 20s, it exceeded 881 pounds, or 400 kilograms. Movement became almost impossible, and she depended on her mother. In 2012, a large-scale rescue operation was needed for medical care, with emergency services even removing walls to move her safely. The country watched and debated responsibility, grief, and mental health. Despite multiple admissions and support, her situation remained fragile for years. Mike Pardoleno, born in 1957, lived in Struthers, Ohio. By the age of 30, he weighed more than 650 pounds, or 295 kilograms, and gained recognition as a promoter of Dick Gregory's Bahamian Diet, a program focused on weight control. At his heaviest, Mike claimed to weigh 1,023 pounds, or 464 kilograms, placing him among the heaviest individuals ever recorded. Despite his weight, he remained active, participating in belly flop contests and making occasional media appearances. Standing 6 feet 2 inches, or 1.9 meters tall, and weighing 1,023 pounds, or 464 kilograms, his estimated BMI was 129. Though specific medical details are scarce, he likely faced significant physical challenges, including limited mobility and declining stamina. Still, he made a visible effort to contribute positively to public discussions on health and lifestyle. While his story is less widely known than others in similar circumstances, his name remains documented for his exceptional weight. Amber Rachdi's transformation on My 600-Pound Life is often considered one of the most remarkable in the show's history. Born on June 22, 1990, in Troutdale, Oregon, she already weighed about 161 pounds, or 73 kilograms, by the age of 5. In her early 20s, her weight peaked at around 657 pounds, or 298 kilograms, driven by a vicious cycle of anxiety disorders and emotional eating that severely limited her mobility. At 23, she decided to seek help from Dr. Nauseradan. She began a high-protein, low-carb diet and eventually underwent gastric bypass surgery. In her first year, she lost more than 377 pounds, or 171 kilograms, and continued losing weight, eventually stabilizing between 269 and 280 pounds, or 107 and 127 kilograms. After the show, she ended a toxic relationship, moved back to Oregon, pursued a career in IT, and focused on mental health. In 2024, she revealed on Instagram that semaglutide injections helped her lose even more weight and build the strength to do push-ups. Today, Amber shares her journey candidly with over 340,000 followers, advocating for mental health, body positivity, and personal responsibility. Robert Butler was born in 1972 and lived in the United States. He struggled with severe obesity throughout his life, which gradually worsened due to a combination of eating habits and underlying health conditions. His weight significantly affected his mobility and day-to-day functioning. At his heaviest, Butler was estimated to weigh 1,199 pounds or 544 kilograms, placing him among the heaviest people ever recorded. His condition was accompanied by physical complications that further reduced his quality of life. In April 2015, Butler was residing at Bannister House, a care facility in Providence. Around that time, the facility faced a $2 million debt and was forced to close, requiring all residents, including Butler, to be relocated. Special equipment was used to transport him to Eleanor Slater Hospital in Cranston via a modified route along the I-95 highway. Butler later expressed that the care at Bannister House didn't fully meet his needs. He passed away later that year. His story raises important questions about how tailored care can impact the well-being and recovery of individuals facing extreme medical challenges. Samantha Mason, better known by her online name, Vanilla Hippo, became one of the most talked about individuals from the TLC series My 600-Pound Life. At her heaviest, she weighed approximately 941 pounds, or 427 kilograms, making her the heaviest participant ever featured on the show. She grew up in Colorado and began turning to food for comfort at a young age, largely due to an unstable home environment and her father's struggles with alcoholism. By age 7, she weighed 150 pounds or 68 kilograms, and during her teenage years, she reached around 397 pounds or 180 kilograms. After finishing school and becoming a mother, her weight continued to rise, partly because she worked as an online model, filming herself eating large amounts of food for viewers who paid to watch. Eventually, Samantha became completely dependent on others and sought help from Dr. Naozaradan. After following his program, she underwent gastric sleeve surgery and ultimately lost more than 470 pounds or 213 kilograms. In October 2020, she also had an abdominoplasty to remove 79 pounds or 36 kilograms of dead tissue. By June 2023, she reported having lost a total of 650 pounds or 295 kilograms. Today, Samantha is active on TikTok and Facebook, where she shares her life candidly with her followers. In 2014, the story of Juanita Valentina from Colombia astonished the world, as she weighed more than 44 pounds or 20 kilograms at 10 months old. This meant she was approaching the weight of a healthy 5-year-old. She was born at a normal weight, but her appetite soon increased sharply, and her mother, Eunice, fed her frequently because the baby kept crying. Around her first birthday, Juanita could not crawl or sit upright steadily, and her breathing was sometimes labored, making daily care especially difficult. Doctors suspected a hormonal or genetic cause, and emphasized that such early and rapid weight gain is very rare in young children. Testing within the local health system required time and money, and called for clear priorities to ensure safe evaluation and guidance. International media published photos that drew wide attention, and the foundation Gorditos de Corazon offered practical support. Juanita received care from pediatricians and a tailored nutrition plan with fixed meal times and gentle progression. The goal was controlled weight loss, better fitness, and more independent movement. Sean Milliken, born in 1989, grew up in Cameron Park, California. His struggle with weight began early in life, especially after his parents divorced when he was 10, an event that deeply affected him. In 2016, Sean appeared on My 600-Pound Life, weighing 919 pounds or 417 kilograms, making him the show's heaviest participant at the time. He later reached 1,003 pounds or 455 kilograms. Sean was housebound, required assistance for daily care, and received medical support due to the severe impact of his weight. Under the guidance of Dr. Naozaradan, he began an intense 800-calorie-a-day diet. At first, he struggled with the strict program, but after a hospital stay, he lost 258 pounds or 117 kilograms in just 2 months. Although he briefly relapsed into old habits at home, continued therapy and support helped him lose a total of 454 pounds or 206 kilograms, qualifying him for gastric bypass surgery. His weight dropped to around 489 pounds, or 222 kilograms, but later rose again to 765 pounds, or 347 kilograms. Much of it gained in just 2 months. In 2019, Sean faced sudden and rapidly worsening health issues. He passed away on February 17, 2019, at the age of 29. His father remembered him as a warm, caring young man with a big heart. Lisa Eberson appeared in Season 10, Episode 14 of My 600 Pounds Life on TLC, and quickly became one of the show's most talked about participants. She was from Fairbury, Nebraska, and weighed over 630 pounds, or 286 kilograms, at the start of her journey. She had been bedridden for over 3 years, and doctors warned that her bones might not withstand the strain if she tried to stand. Her partner Randy took care of her, but also contributed to her condition by cooking and managing the household despite his own health issues. Lisa revealed that her relationship with food stemmed from a difficult childhood filled with poverty and family tragedies, which led her to seek comfort in eating. Throughout the show, she was sometimes resistant to help and declined professional guidance. The story took a tragic turn when Randy passed away during filming after falling ill. Left alone and emotionally exhausted, Lisa was admitted to a care facility. There, she lost over 79 pounds, or 36 kilograms, bringing her weight down to around 553 pounds, or 251 kilograms. However, she later dropped out of the program and returned home, where she faced serious medical complications involving her legs, heart, and breathing. Despite all of this, Lisa remains determined to get below 500 pounds, or 227 kilograms, in hopes of qualifying for life-changing surgery. Walter Hudson was born in 1944 in Brooklyn, New York. By the age of 15, he already weighed 350 pounds, or 159 kilograms, and suffered from severe agoraphobia, which left him housebound for decades. He spent most of his days in a double bed, only getting up to use the bathroom. He read the Bible and was fed by family members. In September 1987, he became stuck in his bedroom doorway, requiring emergency responders several hours to safely move him. Soon after, he began working with health advocate and former comedian Dick Gregory. Though he was too heavy for standard scales, his weight was estimated at 1,197 pounds, or 543 kilograms. The Guinness Book of Records listed him officially at that weight, with a waist circumference of 9 feet 11 inches, or 302 centimeters. Then the widest ever recorded. His daily food intake included enormous meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, supplemented with drinks and snacks. With professional guidance, he lost about 679 pounds, or 308 kilograms in a single year. By September 1988, he weighed 520 pounds, or 236 kilograms, and left his house for the first time in 18 years. Walter passed away on December 24, 1991, at the age of 47. Once again, special measures were required to remove him from his home, underscoring the extraordinary nature of his condition. Dominique Lanoise, a woman of Haitian descent, weighed about 500 pounds, or 227 kilograms during the 2010 Haiti earthquake, and was trapped under rubble for 3 months. Due to her size, she couldn't be evacuated using standard procedures. Eventually, she was flown to Florida for medical care with the help of the President of the Dominican Republic in a military aircraft. In Miami, her condition deteriorated. She became fully bedridden, relied entirely on her daughters, and her weight climbed to around 690 pounds, or 313 kilograms. Doctors warned that without help, her bed could become her final resting place. She initially lost 99 pounds, or 45 kilograms, but difficulties sticking to her treatment plan caused delays in her surgery. Eventually, she received a gastric bypass, with 90% of her stomach removed. Tragically, just 2 weeks after the operation, Dominique died from an illness doctors said was not directly related to the procedure. Tallulah was 4 years old and faced health challenges early on. She lived in Leeds with her mother Natalie and was due to start school, but finding a uniform proved impossible. Age-appropriate clothing didn't fit, and she wore sizes meant for older children. She had been a large baby at birth, and her weight rose quickly in the years that followed. About 20% of British children are overweight, but doctors were especially concerned in Tallulah's case. They considered a thyroid problem or another metabolic factor. She also had tooth decay and was referred to the Leeds Dental Institute. As a baby, she sometimes slept with a bottle, first milk and later juice, which damaged her enamel. Doctors warned against sugary drinks and a one-sided diet, advising fixed routines, more water, and more vegetables. Her mother believed something more than diet was involved and sought medical help and guidance. Jose Luis Garza Ramirez was born around 1961 in Juarez, Nuevo Leon, near Monterrey, Mexico. He struggled with weight issues his entire life, which worsened dramatically after losing both parents within a short period. The grief led to a deep emotional crisis, during which he isolated himself for 9 months. His weight was estimated at around 990 pounds, or 449 kilograms, making him one of the heaviest people in the world. For at least 4 months, he was bedridden and completely reliant on family for assistance. His health deteriorated further, and he developed multiple complications. In a televised special, Garza publicly asked for help. Manuel Uribe, then internationally known, visited Garza with his partner Claudia Solis, bringing fruit, protein supplements, and words of encouragement. On October 7, 2008, firefighters helped extract Garza from his home, as standard transportation was not feasible. During the transfer, his condition worsened, and upon arrival at the hospital, he was declared deceased at the age of 47. Special arrangements were made for his funeral, and his story garnered widespread media attention, touching the hearts of people around the world. Pauline Potter gained international fame in 2011 when she was recognized by Guinness World Records as the world's heaviest living woman at the time, weighing about 644 pounds or 292 kilograms. Eventually, she reached 699 pounds or 317 kilograms, one of the highest weights ever documented on the TV show she appeared in. For years, she battled health issues, and despite numerous attempts to lose weight, her condition kept worsening. A major turning point came when she decided to undergo surgery to drastically change her life. She said, "I want to see my grandchildren grow up. I want to be there for my family." But first, she had to lose weight on her own to even qualify for the operation. She succeeded, and by 2024, Pauline was unrecognizable. She lost over 450 pounds, or 204 kilograms, dropping to approximately 249 pounds or 113 kilograms, a monumental achievement after years of physical and emotional hardship. From that point on, she began living more actively, gained self-confidence, and spoke openly about the importance of mental support during her journey. In the end, Pauline became not just a record holder, but an inspiration to people all over the world. Francis John Lang, also known as Michael Walker, was born in 1934 in Clinton, Iowa, and later lived in Gibsonton, Florida. Standing 6 feet 2 inches, or 1.88 meters tall, he reached a peak estimated weight of 1,186 pounds, or 538 kilograms, making him one of the heaviest people of all time. During his military service in Korea, he weighed just 150 pounds, or 68 kilograms. Lang attributed his extreme weight gain to the misuse of prescription medications, which triggered an insatiable appetite. Unable to walk, he could not perform in traditional freak shows. Instead, he had a mobile home built with viewing windows and traveled the country displaying himself at fairs. Lying on a massive circular bed, he gave talks to audiences, using his body as a cautionary tale against drug abuse. In 1972, he was hospitalized in Houston for a suspected heart attack, which turned out to be an inflamed gallbladder, likely worsened by rapid weight loss. Remarkably, doctors found his heart to be unusually normal. By 1980, his weight had dropped to around 368 pounds, or 167 kilograms. Joyce Del Vescovo from Kansas joined My 600-Pound Life at the age of 44 and weighed around 758 pounds, or 344 kilograms. Standing only 5 feet, or 1.5 meters tall, her weight had a significant impact on her mobility, leaving her completely dependent on home care. She spent years indoors, unable to go outside on her own. By age 16, she was already working in a fast food restaurant, and by 20, she weighed over 399 pounds or 181 kilograms. As her health worsened, she had to close her own daycare center. Joyce began a weight loss journey to qualify for surgery and ultimately lost around 164 pounds or 61 kilograms, bringing her weight down to approximately 283. Despite progress, she left the program due to frustration with the support she received, though some speculated she had the highest BMI ever featured on the show. After her TV appearance, she opted for a quieter life, occasionally posting personal videos and updates on social media. As of November 2022, reports indicated she was working for an insurance company. Hallett made headlines immediately after birth. He was born on May 1st in Indiana by cesarean section, weighing 16 pounds or 7.26 kilograms, and measuring 24 inches or 62 centimeters. His mother, Whitney Hallett, had gestational diabetes. a known risk factor for high birth weight, and doctors suspected this contributed to his exceptional size. After birth, Waylon spent 7 weeks in intensive care due to breathing difficulties and feeding challenges. Doctors monitored potential complications of macrosomia, such as respiratory and metabolic problems. At discharge, he weighed about 17 pounds or 8 kilograms, and his parents were both delighted and surprised, as the last ultrasounds had suggested only 12 pounds or 5.5 kilograms. Because of his size, the family needed clothing and diapers much larger than typical for newborns. Doctors scheduled follow-up visits to closely monitor his growth, feeding, and development. Paul Jonathan Mason, born in 1960 in Ipswich, grew up in a difficult home environment that deeply impacted his relationship with food. Over the years, he developed severe obesity, eventually reaching a peak weight of over 980 pounds or 444 kilograms. The media nicknamed him Man Mountain, and his daily calorie intake soared to 20,000, featuring large meals and frequent takeout. Paul became entirely dependent on caregivers. His home and hospital room required modifications, including widened doorways, lifting equipment, and reinforced structures. After a 10-year wait, he received a gastric bypass through the NHS in 2010. The operation required extensive preparations, including specialized equipment and care. In the years following surgery, he reportedly lost around 650 pounds or 295 kilograms, and by 2015 weighed approximately 350 pounds or 159 kilograms. He also underwent multiple surgeries to remove excess skin, and in 2014 moved to Massachusetts, USA. However, personal setbacks, including stress and isolation during the COVID pandemic, caused a decline in his health. As of his early 60s, Paul still weighs about 505 pounds or 229 kilograms and remains largely housebound, requiring mobility support. Terry Smith, a 49-year-old woman from Cleveland, became internationally known as one of the heaviest women in the world when she reached approximately 701 pounds or 318 kilograms and was unable to leave her bed. She spent 3 continuous years confined to her bedroom, unable to move on her own or receive medical treatment outside her home. Persistent headaches, possibly due to a brain tumor, made her seek an MRI scan, but this proved nearly impossible. Terry grew up in a low-income household where hearty, calorie-dense meals like soul food were common. From an early age, she carried excess weight, 70 pounds or 32 kilograms at age 7, and around 121 pounds or 55 kilograms by age 20. At age 32, she developed joint pain, and after a medication change, she gained more than 88 pounds or 40 kilograms in just 1 month. This triggered a vicious cycle of reduced mobility and further weight gain. Her husband Myron and daughter cared for her around the clock, helping her eat, bathe, and dress. Terry hoped for surgery to improve her health, but according to Dr. Dariush Saghafi, hospitals lacked the appropriate beds and equipment. At one point, a Zoo's MRI scanner was considered, but it wasn't feasible. Terry explained that her weight continued to rise, even after switching to healthier foods, simply because she could no longer move. Michael Hebranko of Great Kills struggled with extreme weight fluctuations throughout his life. At age 58, he weighed about 551 pounds, or 250 kilograms, and doctors advised him to lose around 141 pounds, or 64 kilograms, to improve his health. In 1988, he reached his peak weight, an estimated 1,100 pounds, or 499 kilograms. Michael called himself a sandwich guy, and compared his relationship with food to an addiction, except one that must be confronted daily. His weight swings were dramatic. At one point, he slimmed down to just 198 pounds, or 90 kilograms, but later regained much of the weight. In a desperate moment, he wrote a letter to fitness icon Richard Simmons, who encouraged him to seek medical help. Shortly after being admitted to the hospital, Michael's health began to decline. Over a 7-month stay, he lost approximately 500 pounds, or 227 kilograms. Over the next year, he lost a total of 780 pounds, or 354 kilograms, and underwent surgery to remove excess skin. Despite his remarkable progress, his health remained fragile, and additional procedures were deemed too risky. His story inspired many and stands as a powerful example of resilience and self-awareness. Karina Garcia, born in Colorado, dealt with major health issues from an early age, including severe asthma that often left her hospitalized. Lacking emotional support at home and struggling with loneliness, she turned to food for comfort. By the age of 15, she weighed 249 pounds, or 113 kilograms, and by 38, she had reached her peak weight of around 633 pounds, or 287 kilograms. An initial gastric balloon procedure failed, but she later underwent a successful gastric sleeve surgery and lost 236 pounds, or 107 kilograms, bringing her weight down to about 180. She replaced processed foods with fish and vegetables and eventually regained enough independence to move on her own. By 2019, she no longer needed a wheelchair, began a new relationship with a man named Gilbert, and worked as a bilingual customer service representative at Westcorp. She remained focused on her recovery, shared healthy recipes online, and considered undergoing skin removal surgery to address the excess skin. In the early 2000s, Chinese and international media covered the story of Xiao Hao, a boy from Guangdong province described as one of the heaviest children in China. At age 3, he reportedly weighed about 132 pounds or 60 kilograms, equivalent in his community to the average adult weight. His case shocked doctors and fueled debate about the rapid rise of childhood obesity in China, alongside the growth of Western fast food. His parents initially saw his size as a sign of health and prosperity, an idea rooted in earlier generations' periods of undernutrition. When walking became difficult and he grew short of breath more easily, they sought medical help. Sleep was also troubled by breathlessness and restlessness. Photos of Xiao Hao spread worldwide, showing a toddler with an adult-sized body and prompting strong reactions. Doctors emphasized the importance of early guidance, regular checkups, and clear agreements on diet and activity. Health experts used his story to warn that modern lifestyle diseases can affect even the very young, and that parental support remains essential. Meet Keith Martin from London, whose weight peaked at an estimated 979 pounds, or 444 kilograms. Born around 1970, Keith began seeking comfort in food at age 16 after his mother died of a lung illness. Over the following years, he developed mental health issues and severe agoraphobia, leading him to isolate himself for nearly a decade, while turning increasingly to food for emotional support. At his heaviest, his BMI was extraordinarily high, and he was dubbed the heaviest man in the world by the media. His daily intake reached up to 20,000 calories, including multiple hot meals, snacks, and sugary drinks. In the Channel 5 documentary 70 Stone and Almost Dead, Keith came to terms with the severity of his condition and decided to change his life. With medical help, he began a strict program of just 2,000 calories per day and lost around 348 pounds, or 158 kilograms. In 2013, he underwent surgery to support further weight loss. By February 2014, he was discharged from the hospital, weighing about 547 pounds, or 248 kilograms. Unfortunately, his health declined again shortly afterward. In March 2014, Keith Martin passed away at the age of 44, just 8 months after his operation. His story gained global attention as a symbol of someone who fought for change until the end. Charity Pierce from Arkansas gained widespread media attention for her exceptional battle against morbid obesity and her dream to walk down the aisle on her own. At her heaviest, she weighed around 776 pounds, or 352 kilograms, leaving her completely bedridden and reliant on her daughter and caregivers for all daily tasks. Still, she was determined to reclaim her independence. Her story became known when she announced her plan to marry Tony, a younger man she had met through her daughter. Charity often emphasized her dream of walking to the altar in cowboy boots. Through intense medical guidance and extraordinary willpower, she lost more than 500 pounds, or 227 kilograms, dropping from 776 pounds, or 352 kilograms, to about 275 pounds, or 125 kilograms. Sadly, her love story took a painful turn when it was revealed Tony had an affair with her sister, leading to deep family tensions. Despite the heartbreak and betrayal, Charity continued prioritizing her health. She ultimately became a symbol of resilience and inspired people worldwide in their own battles with weight and well-being. Patrick Doyle was born in 1962 in Grand Island, Nebraska. As a child, he had an average build, but he began gaining weight during his teenage years. In adulthood, his weight gain accelerated, largely due to emotional eating, unhealthy habits, and a sedentary lifestyle. Patrick often described food as a source of comfort during difficult times. Despite his growing size, he remained a humble and kind person, though his mobility gradually became limited. At his heaviest, Patrick weighed an estimated 1,072 pounds, or 486 kilograms, which led to severe health complications. He spent most of his time bedridden, and his overall health deteriorated. He was eventually hospitalized for an intensive program that included dietary counseling, physical therapy, and gastric bypass surgery. Thanks to his efforts and determination, he made steady progress. His journey was documented on the TLC series My 600-Pound Life, where viewers around the world followed his transformation. Patrick hoped that by sharing his story openly, he could inspire others to take control of their own health. Mayra Rosales, born on November 6, 1980 in La Jolla, Texas, became globally known under the nickname Half-Ton Killer. She struggled with obesity from a young age and eventually reached over 1,036 pounds, or 470 kilograms, making her one of the heaviest women ever recorded. In 2008, she tried to protect her sister Jaime by falsely confessing to causing the death of her 2-year-old nephew. An investigation later revealed this wasn't true, and Mayra was cleared of all charges. After her acquittal, she began an intensive medical treatment plan under the guidance of Dr. Nozaridan to improve her health. She underwent gastric bypass surgery and multiple operations to remove excess skin and fatty tissue. Mayra lost more than 793 pounds, or 360 kilograms, and eventually regained some mobility, a milestone she described as her second chance at life. Sadly, she passed away on February 16, 2024, at the age of 43. But her journey remains one of the most dramatic and inspiring transformations ever documented. Jessica Leonard became one of the best-known and most emotional weight loss stories in the media. In 2007, many outlets called her the heaviest girl in the world, when at 7, she weighed over 419 pounds or 190 kilograms. This was driven by extreme overfeeding and an unhealthy diet high in fast food and sugary snacks. In Tennessee, her mother struggled to manage her eating, and Jessica consumed huge daily portions: pizza, fried chicken, and soda, often enough for an entire family. Her weight became life-threatening. Walking, breathing, and playing were barely possible. After intense media attention, doctors intervened and she was admitted to a specialized clinic in Virginia, where she received an intensive program with a strictly supervised diet and gentle movement therapy. Within a year, she lost more than 300 pounds, or 136 kilograms. She regained mobility, and her recovery became both a symbol of hope and a warning about the risks of poverty, a disrupted food environment, and lack of guidance. As an adult, Jessica reportedly lives more quietly and healthily out of the spotlight. Carl Thompson, born on June 21, 1982, became known as the heaviest man in the United Kingdom. At the time of his death, he weighed an estimated 911 pounds, or 413 kilograms. From a young age, Carl developed a complicated relationship with food, often sneaking snacks from kitchen cupboards and even neighbors' freezers. After his mother passed away in 2012, his weight surged from about 485 pounds, or 220 kilograms, to over 904 pounds, or 410 kilograms in just 3 years. His daily calorie intake reached 10,000, with a food budget of around $200 per week. By 2014 to 2015, Carl was unable to leave his home and required daily assistance with basic tasks. His health deteriorated significantly. In April 2015, he appeared via video call on This Morning, where doctors warned that frequent deliveries from local restaurants were worsening his condition. Despite the support of caregivers, nutritionists, and counselors, Carl refused surgery, hoping to manage his situation on his own. On June 21, 2015, he was found deceased in his home in Dover. He was 33 years old and remains recognized as the person with the highest recorded weight in British history. Brianne Diaz rose to national fame in 2019 when she appeared on the TLC show My 600-Pound Life, weighing approximately 743 pounds, or 337 kilograms. Her struggle with obesity was rooted in deep emotional trauma, grief over her deceased brother, and a lack of support. Motivated to change her life, she joined Dr. Nozaridan's weight loss program and began an impressive transformation. She ultimately lost between 344 and 401 pounds, or 156 and 182 kilograms, bringing her weight down to around 357 pounds, or 162 kilograms. During her journey, her partner Rick suffered a heart attack, temporarily halting her progress and adding emotional stress. More hardships followed, she experienced a heartbreaking miscarriage that nonetheless showed motherhood was possible. Soon after, her relationship ended due to infidelity, and she filed for a restraining order after a difficult separation. But Brianne kept fighting. Under Dr. Now's guidance, she qualified for skin removal surgery. Despite complications such as blood clots and breathing issues, she made a full recovery and moved to Houston to remain close to the clinic. In October 2021, she remarried Christopher Riley, and in January 2022, they welcomed a son, River Jameson Edward Riley. Today, Brianne confidently poses in swimwear at a weight of around 287 pounds or 130 kilograms, which she actively maintains through open water swimming, bodyboarding, and surfing. Robert Earl Hughes was born on June 4, 1926, in Monticello, Missouri. At birth, he already weighed more than average, around 11 pounds or 5.1 kilograms. His rapid weight gain began in early childhood, possibly triggered by an illness during infancy that is believed to have affected his metabolism. By age 6, Robert weighed 203 pounds or 92 kilograms, and by age 10, he had reached 377 pounds or 171 kilograms. At his peak, his weight was estimated at 1,069 pounds or 485 kilograms, placing him among the heaviest individuals in recorded history. Remarkably, Robert was still able to move around independently despite his size, a rare feat for someone in his condition. His chest circumference reached a Guinness World Record of 10 feet 4 inches or 3.15 meters. As an adult, he worked with a traveling show, greeting visitors from a specially built bench on his porch. He was widely known for his cheerful attitude and warm personality. In July 1958, his health suddenly declined during a tour in Indiana. After being hospitalized with various complaints, his condition worsened. Robert died on July 10, 1958, at the age of 32. His funeral drew approximately 2,000 mourners, a testament to his memorable life and character. Taretha Hollis Neely from Detroit was once an energetic public health educator, but her life changed dramatically as her weight soared to approximately 800 pounds or 363 kilograms. For 2 years, she was completely bedridden and dependent on her family for everyday care. Under the supervision of Dr. Nauzaradin, she lost more than 198 pounds or 90 kilograms in the first few months and became eligible for gastric bypass surgery. Thanks to the procedure, she ultimately lost around 441 pounds or 200 kilograms, nearly half her original weight. However, maintaining her new lifestyle proved difficult, and over time she regained weight, once again becoming bedridden. Part of the struggle stemmed from unresolved emotional trauma in her past, which had long influenced her relationship with food. She underwent several surgeries, including one for lymphedema, in hopes of regaining mobility. In a later update, viewers saw that even small movements felt like victories for her. In 2017, British media reported on Freddie Hunt, a preschooler whose weight reached about 84 pounds or 38 kilograms by age 5. In Lincolnshire, the increase was so rapid and unmanageable that his family feared seriously for his life. Doctors diagnosed Prader-Willi syndrome, which causes constant hunger, but Freddie never felt full. Every meal became an exercise in control, and his mother had to lock away food and strictly ration snacks because his body did not register satiety normally. Despite everything, Freddie was known for his cheerful nature and courage, and together with specialists, the family worked on weight loss and a tightly structured daily routine. According to several articles, he lost weight thanks to a controlled diet and support from care providers. Billy Robbins, once known as the heaviest teenager in the world, struggled with severe health issues due to obesity from a young age. At his peak, Billy weighed over 851 pounds or 386 kilograms, making it impossible for him to leave his home for several years. His condition was partly influenced by his caring mother, Barbara, who provided him with massive amounts of food, sometimes up to 8,000 calories a day. She cared for him devotedly, even when he could no longer bathe himself. Billy's weight began increasing rapidly during his teenage years, especially after being bullied and switching to homeschooling. Doctors issued a clear warning. Drastic changes were necessary. That message motivated Billy to seek help and accept medical support. Under the guidance of a specialist, he began an intensive program. To qualify for surgery, he first lost over 33 pounds or 15 kilograms. He then underwent an operation in Houston to remove excess tissue. In the months that followed, Billy lost around 287 pounds or 130 kilograms through light exercise and a tailored diet. After further procedures, his weight eventually dropped to 419 pounds or 190 kilograms, roughly half his original weight. To support long-term recovery, Billy moved to a facility where he worked on becoming more independent and rebuilding a healthy relationship with food. Renee Williams was a woman whose story drew global attention in 2007 when she became known as one of the heaviest people ever recorded. She underwent a major medical procedure in a final attempt to improve her health and quality of life. Born on June 4, 1977 in Austin, Texas, Renee struggled with severe obesity from a young age. By the age of 12, she already weighed nearly 309 pounds, or 140 kilograms. In 2003, her life changed drastically after a serious car accident severely damaged her leg. She became completely bedridden, causing her weight to increase rapidly to around 840 pounds, or 381 kilograms within a few years. Her body became overwhelmed, and she was entirely dependent on home care. In a last-ditch effort to change her life, Renee opted for gastric bypass surgery. Many doctors refused to perform the operation due to the risks, but in early 2007, a specialized team at Renaissance Hospital in Houston agreed to proceed. On February 20th, the surgery was performed laparoscopically and went well technically. Renee lost a lot of weight in a short time, but her recovery didn't go as hoped. On March 4, 2007, just 9 days after the operation, Renee died from complications, as the years of physical strain had taken too great a toll on her body. Her story remains a powerful reminder of how severe health problems can become without proper support or intervention. Lee Hung's case is one of the better documented examples of severe childhood obesity with a clearly established condition. According to doctors, he was diagnosed with Prader-Willi syndrome around age 3, and his weight climbed further in early adolescence. Figures reported in 2016 show the scale. Earlier that year, he peaked at about 368 pounds, or 167 kilograms. He was then roughly 5 feet or 1.5 meters tall, making the height-to-weight ratio especially worrying for his care team. After age 3, his appetite increased sharply, and by 4, he weighed around 95 pounds or 43 kilograms, necessitating early intervention. In the years that followed, he developed multiple complications, including high blood pressure, liver problems, and other metabolic disorders. To curb the weight gain, Lee underwent a partial gastrectomy. He also tried additional approaches, such as traditional Chinese medicine and cupping, with only modest results. Because Prader-Willi is not curable, treatment focuses on strict food management and achievable steps to prevent complications. How much do you weigh, and who is the heaviest person you know? Let us know in the comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos we've made, click one on the screen or take a look at the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.